Hey, what's going on, YouTube? I just wanted to do a weekly review and to make sure everyone knows that I have a little PayPal donation button and also get a free Bitgold account for savings in gold. And you can also easily spend that gold. Very convenient. I've found so far. I got my card in the mail, tried it out, checked out the expenses and everything. I think it's 1% when you deposit and 1% when you want to spend. So instead of holding my money in a bank where eventually we'll be going to negative interest rates, I'd rather watch the rising savings account and my Bitgold account rise as the gold price rises. So please donate if you think I need some more coffee, and get yourself a Bitgold account and check it out. It's very convenient, and you can save and spend in gold. It's awesome. So here we are on the weekly charts, weekly review. Gold held up pretty well this week after the previous week's tremendous rise. Definitely above the weekly trend. You can see the 8 popping over. It's awesome. I don't think that recently it's been over that far for quite a while. It was up above here for a little while, but 8 across the weekly 34 is awesome in my opinion. The price held up. I'm trying to gather whether this is going to be just the quickest right shoulder ever. If this thing opens up, breaks previous highs, who knows where it's going to go. Someone said, oh, it's going to go to 13, and as bullish as this looks, and if we open up and don't have to consolidate anymore, breaking previous highs, this thing can go to 13, no problem, which is our next previous high. I got my news feed and tried to listen to everybody and see where everyone's gold sentiment was, and everything. I think everyone's on the same boat. This thing is turning around. The markets are dying. Negative interest rates is just killing everybody's savings accounts or pensions. I think Kansas is going through some crazy stuff on pensions. They're going to grab a whole bunch of pensions from people. So gold, everyone's looking for a safe haven. Gold, even though this is a paper contract little trading atmosphere, it's still, I think the bankers are losing manipulation value here. It's getting out of their hands. It looks awesome. One thing that everyone needs to be aware of is the monthly, that we're not out of the woods yet. So anything could happen, especially on Sunday night and on holidays. So keep your wits about you. And I mean, we're right there. We've got what, a week and a half for the rest of the month. We can do it. I think this is it. The moment we've all been waiting for. So sell the ranch and get some gold. Just a quick view on the daily. You can see it held up pretty nicely. Gold closed above our daily 8, so it's awesome. I really like that. But on the other hand, silver on a weekly looks awesome, but the 8 hasn't crossed yet. We didn't see a high rising silver price as gold. Maybe because silver is a smaller, value, and all the bigwigs with the millions of dollars are buying gold. But silver always lags, so be prepared. It didn't close on the weekly the way I thought it would. I thought it would close a lot tighter, but I'll take it. It did close above the weekly, and you can see here's a 2-week open, or a two bar close above the 34 here. But yeah, another question was, what's the difference between a bullish and bearish retracement? So when price crosses a weekly trend and then retraces back to the trend line, that's a bullish retracement. So just the opposite on a bearish retracement. Let's see if I can find a perfect example. When price broke up here, let's see if we can narrow this down. Okay, so price broke up and then broke down, and then it retraced back, and then it broke down again. Maybe on a daily I can see something. There's no retracement there, so it's heavily weighted. I'll find one in a minute. So bullish retracement so far, just to elaborate, it crosses the trend, comes back to or consolidates above the weekly trend line. That's the bullish retracement. And the safest place to buy is when price comes down and taps its trend line on a bullish retracement. And then your only out is if it falls back into the pattern, then you know that it's not a bullish retracement, since this just turns into a whipsaw and then it keeps going down. So that's your stop. That's your losses are minimized when you buy back into support. So the bullish retracement is just a pop above the trend line coming back, and then that's the perfect spot. Now, sometimes it doesn't come back to the retracement. Like on silver, what I was saying just a second ago, silver did not close on a daily above the 8. I think I mentioned yesterday, it hit that 1550, came back off. Now our 1550 on a long-term chart, that's why I use the 8, is this previous lows here. So on a monthly, the previous lows are the 13. So they kind of intertangle with each other on each chart, but that's all a bullish retracement is, and it's just the opposite on a bearish retracement. When price breaks down, okay, so price is moving up, and then price breaks down below the support lines. It has a retracement back to resistance and then backs off. And I know a perfect example when I get there. I think the dollar is doing that right now. So hang on, I'll get to that. More on silver, PSLVs, Eric Sprott's, little same thing. Tahoe Resources just about ready to pop that weekly trend. Will look like a next week pop on that thing. Could if it breaks previous highs, it could break into previous lows. So I mean, that could be a nice little pop. Yamaha closed above, no real retracement. These things are really bullish. Most of the time you'll get a pop and you'll get a long, slow retracement like a U. But these are quick. That tells me that the moves are going to get real big here soon. El Dorado hasn't busted yet. Look for previous high breaks and take a ride. Copper is a sleeper. It closed on its high on a weekly. It closed above the 13 and the 8. And I think, no, it's not. The 8's not crossing the 13 yet. But watch previous high breaks on this thing. I think we could reach previous lows. It'd be awesome. That's a weekly chart. And you can see the reverse head and shoulders. And this has a right shoulder and it's going higher. Closed on its high for the week. That's looking bullish. If it opens up, can easily see 220, and on a monthly, I think the line is at 240. So here's the other resistance. Previous lows. Gets to 220, it's going to have some resistance. Gets to 240, it's going to have resistance. So it's got a lot of work to do on copper, but the weekly chart looks like we'll get a little break. And it's likely to see the other end of the pattern. So that'll be nice. Here's crude. We got a double bottom. It looks like a weekly chart that's ready to move forward. Its natural point of return is near 40, but a quick stop here at the 13 first, 34, and then off to 40. We have a double bottom, and it's due for a retracement. As you can tell on a monthly chart, it is way oversold, and it's still forming a hammer on a monthly. So we have a hammer forming, and you can just go back to the weekly and say, yep, that might be knocking out a bottom there. So you got two stops. You got one at 34 and one at 40. Its natural point of return would be at 40. If it can go over 40, I wouldn't have a clue unless we can get there first. But you can see the bounce off of here. It might just bounce off again, make another pattern. Who knows? But we do have a double bottom. Last week, that's almost a hammer. But you take this little pattern here, and you go to a monthly, and you can see the hammer forming, knocking out a bottom, double bottom. So, and then magically enough, there's our 8, our first stop at 40 on a monthly. Now here's where the bearish retracement I was talking about. Just real quick, I'll put this line in and then take it off. Here is the breaking point. There's our trend that we broke down, and then price retraced back to resistance, and then it backed off. So if you were shorting the dollar, that spot where it hit resistance would have been your best short. That is the safest trade. Because it's real, you can keep your, see, if price breaks down, retraces back up, you go short, but if it was a false negative and it goes back above your resistance, then you know you made a bad trade right away. Otherwise, you just, scrounging around up and down, doing the, trying to figure out what's going on. Well, you can see what's going on. It broke down, it did a bearish retracement, and then it backed off. That would have been your best short on the dollar right there. Not to say that it's perfect, because price can go back up and whipsaw your ass into bankruptcy, but you'll know right away. I mean, it's going to be yes or no, and you'll know right away. So that is a bearish retracement. Okay, so I expect prices to move down from here on the dollar. And that is just probability, not because I have a magic bottle that I asked my genie what's going to happen next week. That's just the probability of it, and that's how I do things. But the same thing on the S&P. We broke down all these places here, and then we got a double bottom, and it's trying to retrace. This is a weekly chart, very volatile. Definitely below the weekly trend still. Has not even tried to get back up here. So we know it's still bearish. Is it likely to go all the way back up there? I don't know. But I do know it got stopped out on the first point of resistance, which was these lower prices here. Price moved into these previous lows and got rejected. We could see a continuation, no doubt. This is a double bottom. Next point of return is at 1967 and then to 2000. But I'm still bearish, especially when we go to the monthly and look how that wave is crashing. Now the monthly, it is making a nice little reversal bar. Anything could happen. We got a week and a half left. Who knows? But this is your best short. You hear me? When it goes back and retraces back to the support line, that is a bearish retracement. It could open up, and then you're out. You stop yourself out, and that's it. But those are the kind of trades that I use. I watch bullish and bearish retracements. Easy to find, especially when you're using the 34 simple moving average. That's all I got. Let me make sure I check the monthly on the dollar. Monthly on the dollar is closing so far below the 8 and the 13, and it's crossing on a monthly. So point of return here, $88. Wow, that would be pretty hard drop. That's all I got. Thanks for watching. Please donate if you can, if I'm making you some money. These weekly charts are easy to see. Just find the pattern and find your lines of resistance. Breakout trading. I suspect higher prices in gold and silver and copper. Looks good. Happy to be here. Thanks for watching, and let me know if I can answer any other questions. I hope I answered the bearish retracement and the bullish retracement question all right for you. Thanks for watching.